Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to do something for some of y'all that's up late in the night. This is a late night video. You might be sitting there woke. I want you to know I pre-recorded this thinking about you though. Don't feel bad. Don't be like, man, you not live. No, I'm asleep. No, I'm not staying up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You up at 3 o'clock in the morning. What the hell you doing up? What you worried about anyway? Hmm? Don't you know? Tomorrow got enough worries for itself. Just worry about the day. So you worrying right now at 3 o'clock in the morning about what's gonna happen tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the morning? Nah. No, you better tell that dawn to get his mind right, shake off all that weakness, and go you behind the bed. But since you up, let's go see what's going on in the spooky kooky world of UFOs. Donald Trump came out today and made a statement that I thought was very, very powerful that nobody seems to be talking about. Nobody's talking about it. But you know me, I'm about that life. So I want you to hear this.
And they were in the Oval Office, 3 or 4 pilots. These are not people that make up stories. They said, all I know, sir, is there was a round object that was going 4 times faster than my F-22, which is a very fast plane. And it wasn't, it shouldn't have been. It was round, sir. They have seen, 4 or 5 guys I've interviewed, solid people, great pilots for the U.S. Air Force, etc. They've seen things that they cannot explain. And they were in the Oval Office, 3 or 4 pilots. These are not people.
I think it's important that you understand this. Stop it, Donald. Donald Trump, Mr. President, sir, stop. I think it's important that we understand where we are as humanity. All right. World War III was on the table and we were slated for destruction. Somehow, some way, by the grace of God, we got past World War III. Israel and Iran done calmed down a little bit. Ukraine and Russia still beefing out, but everybody ain't on that Ukraine Russia stuff anymore. Our stock market started rallying. Everything is going good. And we know that we have an enemy. We'll call them for this purposes the deep state, but it's composed of a bunch of different people. Some will call them like the Committee of 300, the Cabal, the Khazarians, the Zionist media complex, the this. The truth of the matter is, when you start talking about these higher level issues, it's so many factions that you're dealing with that come together to work on operations that it's totally ridiculous. You can't just blame any one group. So I like to call them the them, the they live. So we have the they who are running out of options. And so what's the next thing that the they will do? They will, them, they, him, she, she's me, they have an alien hoax. And we know they've been talking about this for a very long time. And I find it mighty interesting that Donald comes out and starts talking about aliens. Now, if you follow the news with me, and you have been following the news with me, then you know this one thing about this president. He's always signaling. And I don't mean like QAnon signaling. Like, yeah, he's doing the Q sign and, trust the plan. I don't mean that. What I mean is he's always signaling and directing the talking points. So for your president to go on Fox News and start talking about spherical UFO ships is very significant. I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to say this. And I want to be clear. The simple fact that the president went on Fox News to talk about UFOs, as opposed to coming to the alternative media sphere to talk about UFOs, lets you know that the alternative media hasn't done their job. You just haven't done your job the correct way. But nonetheless. So now we get to the point to where our president is talking about these things. And so for you and for me, the best thing to do is to go and look and see what's there. Now, I started spotting these things popping up. Hell, today Sunday, Friday. I noticed there was an uptick in UFO videos. And I said, what the hell is all these videos? The uptick actually started like Wednesday of this week when there was this fallen angels, what I call it, falling from the sky in South Carolina. And it just continued to get worse and worse and worse. Let's go to imjameswilliams.com because I have been keeping up with a lot of this already. Let's start here. Congressman confirms what we already know: Nordic aliens are here. Representative Eric Burleson just made it official what researchers have been saying for decades, that tall whites are walking among us. Here's the most important thing about this. Congressman Eric Burleson finally went public with what we've been knowing, but he also says that he discussed this with Donald Trump. And it's been disclosed to Donald Trump. Let's take a listen to this real quick.
That the Nordic people or the Nordic aliens are like a few hundred years more advanced than we are, but they're not super advanced. They're not like, he said, the Greys, whatever is sending the Greys is extremely advanced, like thousands and thousands of years more advanced than us, because it's doing all the anti-gravity stuff, all the crazy all this crazy stuff that's very highly advanced. And a lot of it is what he says with the Greys is psionic. So they basically don't have physical interfaces. They're using their mind, and that there's an interface that picks up thought, and then that and that's how they operate these vehicles, is out of psionic. But the Nordic people somewhat resemble humans, and they have been experimenting with crossbreeding with humans. And he says some of them, that there are aliens that are crossbreeds living in the world. And I asked him, I go, okay, do they know that they're a crossbreed, or do they, like, how would you know that they are a crossbreed? And he didn't have an answer for that. Like, he didn't know if they knew what, but he said that the briefings he's had described, talked about them. And he said when Trump was briefed on this topic, because Trump finally had a briefing, and he was in the middle of impeachment, like he was in the middle of being impeached, so he's going through that, and then he had like this existential briefing that just kind of rocked his worldview. He joked in the briefing, whenever they said that there are these half breeds, he joked that Adam Schiff must be one of them. And so, yeah, Nifty Schiff is an alien, half breed.
I could see him being.
That's an excerpt from an interview where they talk about it. But it's important that we understand, ladies and gentlemen, this information that's coming out ain't nothing new. The Bible talks about it, and you're talking about genetic hybrid human or genetically modified human beings, and you're talking about fallen angels and demons, and that's the only thing it boils down to. However, for the sake of, I wouldn't even call it entertainment, I would say for the sake of the rabbit hole, let us continue to see what's been coming out. So this comes out by Dom LaCree, and then boom, we have a Space Force general. This came out Friday. Comes out and says that, yeah, there's aliens.
Major General Olson, what do you think about the unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, and UFOs?
Well, this is a very hot topic, and I appreciate the question. I know, admittedly, Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force is quite a mouthful in an acronym. I've gotten that question a couple other times. What do you think about UFOs or aliens? And quite frankly, having flown 83 different airplanes and had lots of hours, we've all seen lots of unexplainable elements. And the cosmos, the space realm is so large. If we look at the Earth, it is this tiny blue dot in an unlimited, almost incomprehensibly large cosmos. I personally believe that there absolutely, from a probability perspective, is life out there. However, this task force is a very serious U.S. government approach to systematically investigating and understanding these, because, of course, unidentified elements present a national security concern, present a safety of flight, present a risk that we must take and diligently pursue. But I think the question is actually more broadly put, and that is we will continue this effort, and in fact, I believe it will be getting more funding and more of a structural support level within the department. But I also believe that this is part of our never-ending quest to learn and understand and explore. And as we have on our probes that have exited the solar system to our probes to the moon, we have gone in peace to explore and discover, and we continue that yearning to see and discover, is there life out there, and what does that mean for humanity?
So UFOs are back in the spotlight. And it's real simple. They're going to be in the spotlight because the deep state is down to its last little trick. Does it mean it's going to be like it was before where we had drones? I'm not sure what this actually completely looks like. I mean, I can't tell you I know what it completely looks like. I can show you some things, though, that are kind of wild. I'll show you another one. Terrible. This is the one I want you to see. You got to see this foolishness right here. You got to see this. And it's almost like the alien said, "Say, dog, you know, we ain't got nothing else to do. We ain't got no job. It's Friday. Let's go get caught on camera. Let's go get caught on camera." Right there. Let's get caught on camera, man. We ain't got nothing to do. Yeah. We ain't got nothing to do. Let me play this for you. I'm gonna play it all the way through. With the sound. I'm gonna mute myself. Now, of course, there's going to be people who say that this is AI. And this is the problem with the AI world that we're moving into. Anything can be easily discredited. But let's go ahead, for the sake of this video, say this is not AI. Why all of a sudden now is all this stuff showing up? Why all of a sudden now we getting all these lights in the skies? We ain't had no lights in the skies recently. Now, don't get me wrong. People been pointing their cameras at the skies this whole time. But all of a sudden, ain't no lights in the sky. You see what I'm saying? Man, if you don't stop at all that noise, sitting at the window making all that noise, I'm coming out there to holler at you, man. Y'all hear the bird? He right there at the window. Like, he always like, come outside, hang out with me, dog. Like, he be tripping. The point I'm making is this. How come all of a sudden, out the blue, here come the aliens again? They're digging in people's trash cans. You know what I'm saying? Climbing in windows. Snatching people up. You know what I'm saying? But it's just out the blue. And if you look around, I'm going to let you look around. I'll curate some more later today. I'm going to curate some more. And I'm going to put together all these clips that I found. All this weird stuff in the sky. And this is all recent stuff. Whether it be the weird thing that's in the sky over Los Angeles that look like something off of Harry Potter. One of those specters of Harry Potter floating around in the air. It's all going on right now, and I don't get it. Do you get it? It's like they all came together and said, "Hey, the humans are no longer paying attention to the war. Let's now just like try and scare the shit out of them." It's insane, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be in bed anyway. You don't need to be up at no damn 3 o'clock in the morning looking at no damn video about no alien. You should be ashamed of yourself. Close your eyes and go to sleep, man.